I was born Tuesday night around 10:30, and my friend Wendy called me in tears. I was already in tears as well, and she said, I think we need to get together tomorrow night for a hug. I wonder if anyone else does.
Yes.
And that next night, how many of you were there Wednesday? Right. That next night, we showed up for our hug along with almost 100 other people, and that was amazing. And we had a great time. We laughed, we cried, we hugged. And then you guys said, what's next? What are we doing? When's our next meeting? And it caught us off guard. But here we are, 6 days later, with RiseUp LA. What are we? RiseUp LA. We are a secular, non-exclusive, all-inclusive.
Not exclusive, all-inclusive.
That's right. Y'all are welcome. A grassroots movement committed to open dialogue and moving us from despair to support and finally to social action. We will continue programming and meetings and calls to social action as long as it's needed. I'm thinking for years. We so appreciate your participation. We so appreciate you being here. This has kept us going this week. And I've heard from some of you that same.
Yeah.
We do have a donation box in the back. It really helps with the cost of doing nights like tonight. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about why, personally, I am here. I'm here because this election woke me up. I was asleep for 8 years. Barack had the wheel, and I was cozy in my bubble. Everything sounded great coming from the media outlets that I felt comfortable with. I wasn't going to listen to the hate and rhetoric of the other side, right? My bubble, it was perfect. It was comfortable. It even had chocolate and coffee. Until Tuesday night, I was unaware of that unhappiness and despair felt by people, Republicans and Democrats, in other areas of our nation. I was unaware that people were hurting so badly that they would choose a candidate that in my eyes was the worst of the worst. I mean, who the hell would vote for this guy? Those voters, they must be ignorant, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, ignorant idiots. And I don't have space for them in my life. I was wrong. This entire week, I've been conducting an autopsy of sorts. I have dissected this election, and what I found out was I was wrong. I mean, those people are out there, don't get me wrong. Those xenophobic, homophobic, racist, sexist, they are out there. But there are also people that voted for Trump twice. Voted for Obama twice, and voted for Trump this time. That blows my mind. And I don't think we can brush them with such a wide brush, paint them with such a wide brush. You can't be full-on racist and vote for Barack twice. So, were their lives so bad that they would vote for any change, rather than keeping the status quo, my happy, fuzzy status quo? And why didn't I know about that? And I think I didn't know because there was no dialogue with those people. There's no real dialogue between opposing sides in our country. And that's a problem. How many of you, on your Facebook pages, had people spouting the anger, the hate, the rage? Yeah, I saw it too. I also saw responses to that. Get off my page, you're a racist. Thanksgiving is canceled, Dad. Yeah. I know, and that feels right. You stood up for yourself, and you stood up for those people that they were talking about. But you didn't change their minds. And if you happen to type in, you're a racist, and label them as such, they're probably not listening now. Let me give you a quick analogy. Your young child comes into the room and says something hateful. Maybe it's racist, maybe it's sexist, but it's bad. Do you immediately scream at them, get out of here, go to your room, you're not my family anymore, Thanksgiving is canceled? You don't, right? You sit them down. You say, where did that come from? Where did those ideas come from, those thoughts come from? And you explain all sides to them. You attempt to see it from their point of view. I felt like we did none of that this time. And I'm not talking against the people that, frankly, we're not going to reach with how we feel. But I think there were people that we could have reached. And that's my focus going forward. That's one of the things that's important to me. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be uncomfortable and messy conversations with people in my own family. There will be doors slammed in my face, and I won't be able to change everyone's minds. But I believe that we have a lot more in common with people on the other side than we think we do. And I think we can start there. I think we can find common ground and at least start there. And we never have to abandon our ideals and our morals in the process. But when you think about it, has a problem ever been solved by using less communication? Thank you for listening. What I'd like to do now is, then I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Stacy. I'm Stacy Rasmussen, and my co-founder is Wendy Hyman-Nunes, and she's going to come up and introduce herself a lot better than I just did, and also tell you about the agenda for tonight. Wendy.
What would we do without our friends? Right? What would we do without our families? What would we do without our community? I don't know that I could have gotten through the last couple days without friends and community. So Stacy's the yin to my yang. I think her heart's a lot bigger than mine. I've got a spiked bracelet on, I've got spiked earrings on, I've got my high-heel power boots on. I feel kind of intensely more traumatized, I think, than she does. Thank God for Stacy. My name's Wendy Hyman. And who am I? At my core, I am the daughter of Holocaust survivors who escaped Nazi Germany, who raised me in Skokie, Illinois, where in 1978 the Nazis attempted to march. My father, the most loving man I ever knew, wanted to go out and buy a gun. It crushed me. How could my dad, who never hurt a flea, have the rage that would cause him to actually think that way? And in my young, optimistic naivete, I talked about the Jewish lawyer that was defending the Chicago Nazi Party in their right to free expression. Turned into an interesting family dinner. I was a bully victim as a kid. I looked like a little boy until I was about 15, 16. Kids used to say to me, "You a dude or you a chick?" I'm a chick now. My high school reunion was a lot of fun, let me tell you. I'm a secular, humanistic Jew. I believe that we as humans are responsible for making change. Doesn't matter whether there is a God or not. I would never ever deny someone's belief system, but it doesn't end there. It ends with us. I'm the mother of a Latina daughter. I want her to grow up in a world where I want her to grow up in a world where people of color aren't seen as people of color, just we're all shades of flesh color. I'm the aunt of a Muslim. My nephew converted from Judaism to Islam, I should say. I am the cousin and friend of so many lesbian, bisexual, gay, transgender, and queer people. I'd like to say I'm friends with many, many African American people, but it makes me kind of feel weird to say that, as if it's some bizarre justification that so many people use, but I am. But most importantly, I'm an American. My parents came to this country, the country that saved them. We were the consummate patriotic family. We lopped an N off my name to be more American. I subsequently added it on, just because I didn't want to lose my heritage. And this week, the country that I felt secure in, for the first time in my 51 years, I didn't feel that secure. And that scared, dare I say, small children, close your ears, it scared the crap out of me. So one of my personal heroes is Viktor Frankl. He was a psychotherapist who lost everything in Auschwitz, everything. And he rose above it. And he made some observations, and I want to share those with you. Some of my favorites are, he said, the one thing you can take away from me is the one thing that you cannot take away from me. You can take everything away from me. But as long as I have the ability to think, you can't take away the way I choose to respond to what you do to me. The last of one's freedom is the freedom to choose one's own attitude, given any circumstance. And he found that those who have a why to live, a purpose to live, they could bear almost any how. And so as Stacy said, Rise Up LA is about you and your ability to be change agents and protect your priorities and to protect the priorities that we share as a community and that we value in the coming months and years ahead. And I now make this personal pledge that I'm going to commit to my family, my friends, my neighbors, my countrymen, the world, and our planet through the new administration. And Rise Up LA would like to be the portal for us in which to do it in a peaceful, communicative, loving, safe way. So we are going to be continuing these as long as we need to so that we can continue this dialogue and make people in our community feel hope, because the way you get out of feeling despair is through action. And when you move, you feel better. My dad always said, when you feel bad, help someone else. So the lineup for tonight, that I'm so proud, we pulled it together so fast, and it's only because of the graciousness of such kind people. We're going to hear from Dr. Peter Murphy. He's a trauma specialist, and he's going to talk about some of the emotions that are being felt nationwide. Is it okay? We're going to hear from Dinah Stevens from Planned Parenthood with a call to action. We're going to hear from Elisa Barrett from Tree People, because dare I say, we have a world to protect. We are graciously blessed with the music from the Brentwood Westwood Symphony Trio. It was going to be a quartet, but it's a trio. And I'm so honored that we are going to hear some words from someone who I know has provided you with the soundtrack to so many moments of your life when you needed something, and that is Mr. Stephen Stills from Crosby, Stills and Nash. He and his wife have become friends, and I will tell you they are the loveliest of lovely people. Because we may not be able to do so later, I just wanted to thank all of you, all of the speakers, all of the musicians, all of our volunteers, Diego Morales, Michael Frondelli, Sharon Smullian. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Sharon. Not good? Perfect? Okay. And everyone else who helped to make this night happen, especially on such short notice. It's not even been a week. The wind is certainly at our backs, and all we ask is that you please help us in covering the costs of the evening by donating. Any excess over our costs tonight are going to be distributed equally between Planned Parenthood, Tree People, and the orchestra, because we need arts in our lives as well. And so